It's always a joy to cover Kazuki Uda. YouTube may not agree, but I feel he inspired my best sumo video when regaining his salaried status last September. Link above. He more than survived Division 2 in November, of course, even harking back to the pre-injury years with some quite remarkable skills. But the constant protection those knees of his require takes its mental toll, leaving him highly anxious ahead of January and dismissing promotion talk out of hand. Not only, it seems, does he match Shodai for grip strength, but negativity too. At the core of his game is the extra low tachi-ai from which he seeks to spear a foe's defense. Kotoyuki, on his first day back after knee trouble of his own, barely knew what had hit him. Taiho's grandson, Oho, defended better, but on just the second day of a fraught salaried debut, was far too stiff to follow the movement. Note Uda's feint of the head to unsettle him on the starters line too. Day 3 started with much the same pattern as Day 2, only Hakuyozan defended the arm pull. Again though, Uda was a step ahead, following up with a lighter arm pull which gave him an oblique route to the belt. That's how Uda beats the giants, by keeping them as close to side-on as possible. And, despite being cracked on the face by a vicious right on Day 4, he found a way in and dove for glory, sending Tohakuryu over the rope for the second tournament straight. We hoped the 4-0 start would loosen him up, but fellow Osakan Daisho Maru has his number. That slicing right arm under the shoulder is key, taking the sting out of Uda's left, then just as quickly launching attacks of its own while the left pummels the neck. And on Day 6, the pink-belted one failed again, kept at bay by Ryuko's low defensive thrusts, then suckered on the outside. But a great middle weekend saw his fans re-infused with belief. Yago, outwitted by arm pull on the Saturday, and another Osakan, Forlorn Ikioi, bested in the derby on Sunday. Now vying for the lead with unbeaten Tsurugisho, Uda was suddenly thrust into a potential title decider with him on Day 9. But this time, his sideways dash for the arm pull was easily read by a man in inspired form and anxious to avenge a November loss. A limp left arm promptly slips Uda's grasp, while a glancing right repels the shoulder. And although Tsurugisho finally fell the next day, Uda stayed 3 points behind after a rough introduction to Dai Amami's right forearm. In the final third though, the technical wizard rediscovered his touch, forcing out Shohozan, yes, he is still around, felling Mitoryu by leg pull, stunning Nishikigi as would Midori Fuji by Katasukashi, and worsting Azuma-ryu for the 6th time from 6 with a twisting izori come push-out. That gave him double figures, and, for the 2nd time running, an outside chance of forcing a title playoff on the final day. But an unthinkable event, Ikiyoi missing his first bout in 16 years, handed Tsurugisho the crown without a contest, leaving Uda bereft of a goal. He therefore vowed to experiment. Even with his arm's-length thrusting tactics spot on, Takagenji still had to deal with the izori, and given it was must-win for him, rejoiced when Uda's right hand slipped off his elbow. It is a source of concern for Uda how many of these overhead throws are failing right now, and he may need to curb the urge to try them. But as this very likable man says prior to practically every meet, when the chance presents itself, I go for the move. And so far, more often than not, his fighter's instincts have proved to be right.